Well, looks like we might be missing something here. Does anybody know where my PC went? Can't find it. So, looks like I need a PC because apparently mine's gone. But wait. Here we go. Let's build a PC. Okay, everybody, so obviously we're going to start building a PC. And one of the first things we're going to need is a motherboard. And right here we have a B650M Pro Wi-Fi RS, which actually has a whole bunch of I/O on the back for USB 2.0. I'm not sure how useful, I mean, that could be useful to a point. We have 3 USB 3.2, Gen 1 and 1 Gen 2, and a USB-C Gen 2 as well. A display port, HDMI port, antennas, all that fun stuff. Whole bunch of fun to do with, but it is a mini ATX, so, but that's all we need. We're not hooking like 20 different graphics cards or anything up to this thing, so let's get this going and see what's going on. All right, everybody, so for a motherboard to function, you're going to need a CPU. And the CPU we're chosen for this one is obviously an AMD Ryzen 7 7800, and it is the X3D version. So it's going to be well beyond the specs of anybody needs for a PC, but hey, overkill, why not? Of course, we're going to need some memory, so we have some Trident Z DDR5 6400 mega transfers per second. Next, we're going to need a little bit of storage for the OS, and that's going to be our lovely M.2 slot. And we have a Fire CUDA here. That's 2 terabytes, really decent. I recently just got one for my personal own laptop, a 2 terabyte one, but that's a whole nother video that's going to come soon, so you might want to subscribe if you want to see that. Okay, everybody, so now we have our motherboard pretty much prepped. We're going to go ahead and add it into the case, and then we're going to start adding a whole bunch of other stuff like our motherboard, our graphics card, and all the other fun stuff's going to go with it, especially the AIO. It's going to cool this whole system to make sure it's nice and chill, so it's going to produce some heat. Anyway. I want to stop real quick to give credit to Sama, the people that made this tower, because anytime I've ever bought a tower, everything comes in a little bag, all mixed up with all the screws, all that stuff. They give you a little tiny box that organizes it all and actually even tells you which screws go to what. It's actually pretty well done. Credit to the boxing. Okay, everybody, so we have our motherboard nicely seated into the case, but the next thing is we need some cooling for the CPU, so we're going to get the AIO installed. And there's one rule of thumb here. So one thing I really want to point out, everybody, and Gamers Nexus did a video on this a couple years ago, and then Jay's 2 Cents did a sum up video of it because his video was too long, too wordy, very technical. Great video by Gamers Nexus, by the way. But the technicality, a lot of people like scrolled through it and missed a lot of it. The basic sum comes down to air, You're not getting air out of something like this. You can't bleed this. This is a sealed system. So there's still air in it. You're not going to get that all out. So what do you think you have to do? Do you think this is a good orientation? No. Air travels up. Always have this. You want this either if it's on the side, you want it up. Say this is up. You'd want it, if you were going to put it on the side of your case, you want it like this so that the air travels to the top and that the pump is only pulling from here. All the air is right here now and it's not getting into your pump at all. But we're putting it at the top of the case. So that would mean the air moves up horizontally to the top of the radiator, which means it will not get into the pump. This is good. You don't make sure this is never below this. That's all you got to remember. Okay, so if you're wondering why I was doing that last shot, so our AIO has different brackets that come with it to hook to different CPUs, Intel, AMD, or older versions of Intel or AMD. Our distinct motherboard, you had to take off these little brackets, which was part of the 0-point insertion on this motherboard to hook the new brackets up, and that comes with new standoffs and whatnot to hook the AIO up properly. So where we stand right now, well, we're going to add the perfect amount of thermal paste, of course. Okay, as you saw in the B-roll footage, we ran all the wires for the I/O in the front panel and all that fun stuff, and cable managed all the wires for the I/O. Now we got to add a power supply in, and we got to do a little cable routing because it's a little bit of a mess with the fan hub and everything else. So let's get this routed. Let's get the hard drive, which is the strangest hard drive out I've ever seen. It literally slides underneath everything by rubber grommets. It's a neat way of doing it, but kind of a pain in the ass if you have to change it. So that being said, let's get things hooked up. As you guys can see, we have finished putting the PC mostly together. We got our hard drives, we got our AIO, we got our fans, we got our fan controller, we got all that stuff. But it ain't gonna work like this. We need a GPU. We got a lovely 360 Ti Founders Edition here. So let's get that installed and install some Windows. Okay, everybody, we have the system up and running, but you missed a lot in the shuffle, though, with the editing and all that stuff that goes on. So, this system did not post no matter what we did. We got 5 beeps plus 1 saying a graphics card error. Changed the graphics card like 3 times. We even reseated the CPU. We changed the RAM to other RAM, changed other sockets, whole bunch of other stuff. Then, just for no reason at all, because it wouldn't even post with nothing attached to it. Then we put an HDMI cable on it and it posts. I have no friggin' clue. And no amount of Googling could help us figure that out. Let's get Windows installed. We have all our RAM being recognized, the NVMe drive being recognized. All we need is an operating system, so let's do that. Okay, everything is working, guys. We have Steam installed. We have all the stuff here. Everything's going. RGB's going, because you got to have RGB. Anyway, so this is the person that's the computer was built for. She's a friend of the channel, so we offered to build the PC. Obviously,
hi, guys.
We obviously did a video too, and she spent a good amount of money on this whole project. Although we had to reorder the motherboard once because the other one was dead. It's a whole slew. But then she got a cheaper motherboard. It was a whole, this video has been a long, long time in production. So now it's done. What do you think of your build and your parts you picked out?
I love it, guys. Thank you very much.
But now it's time for you to test out some gaming.
Of course.
So that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this video, joining us in this PC build that took forever to get done. But enjoy the B-roll footage that's about to hit and of checking out how it performs.